Hey everybody, just checking out an effluent pond system at Graham and Melissa Clay's place. They've been really diligent in regards to putting the Biolink ignition into their effluent ponds, and it broke down the pond and sort of inhibited some of the grass growth in and around it as well. So it just kept it nice and clean and chewed up. But over the last couple of months, given silaging and hay and cropping and all that sort of stuff, it's gone. They've slipped an application of two applications. There you go, two applications of the ignition, which would probably be one or two, probably three buckets or two or three buckets, but it'd be something like that. And so if you just have a quick look at the pile, even though it's working, the pond's working, and you can see just there's a bit of creep in regards to solids. You can see the solids here on the side and all that sort of build up. So it hasn't been enough microbes in there to chew that sort of stuff up and keep it all nice and clean and eaten down, and therefore that you get that creep of the grass coming in, and that's that stuff, and loving manure and moisture and all that sort of stuff.
It's having a ball.
So what we're going to do here today is we're going to just show how simple it is to actually apply and put in the effluent ponds. Just the Biolink ignition as a powdered form straight into the ponds. You can either broadcast it out, or alternatively, I think what we probably might do is, as you can see, comes in these buckets. So these are the two buckets we'll just apply tonight. And most of the times what we're doing is we're inoculating two buckets straight into ponds, and then depending on the size of the dairy or the piggery or whatever the size of the dam is, then we go at it. We've worked in different industries, dairy, piggeries. We're even involved now in effluents out of production plants like sugar plants and all that sort of stuff. And this is going in. For every it's 25 kilos for every megalitre of waste that's in these systems. So let's just give you a bit of an idea. Graham's going to have a bit of a play around. So what do you want to do, Graham? Do you want to do what you normally do? Is if you
my normal way is, Kev, it just all goes in.
Just chuck it in.
Yep. Don't worry about washing it down a yard or anything like that. I've found we get just as good as results as whether we throw it in or whether we wash it down.
Okay, so how about we put one of the buckets in your normal way, which is obviously chucking it in. And you pull the lid off, and there it is. There's the stuff there. That's what it looks like. If you can see in there, it's all of those microbes and all of the feed of food, if you know what I mean, that we've got in there. That's the Biolink ignition product. Away you go, Graham, with that one bucket. So you just chuck it in.
I chuck her in. Just like that.
Just like that. Straight in. And so what do you think? You've obviously been doing this a bit, if you know what I mean, and obviously pre putting the Biolink ignition in.
Yep.
You're finding the breakdowns there and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. As I said, we had a bit of a torrid year, but these things happen, and we got behind, and it's amazing how quick, with the dairy detergents and all that go into the pond, how it slows up. Like, this thing was bubbling like crazy, and there was piles of manure being brought to the top. It's doing that, but nowhere near as active as what it was. So my belief is, you can see all the humic acid that's in that. You can see it over top of the water now. We're basically throw that in, and then in a couple of days I'll take a video of it, and it'll look like it's raining on the actual pond. It'll be bubbling that much.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can already see, there's already bigger bubbles coming in that now, and we've only just been into it for a few seconds. Look at that.
Pretty amazing, really, when you think about it.
It starts to work very quickly. We've done it on other farms in pits, put it in their actual pit off the yard, got it in there, and then it flushes out to the dam. We've thrown it on dams like this, but it's got to be wet. You can't expect it to go into a solid dam and do the job with no water. It's got to have water to transport itself around.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
We find that'll break down and really get into it. And I reckon maybe 4 to 6 weeks, that grass will nearly all be gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go and do the other method, and obviously we sort of talk about, you know, trying to simplify all these sorts of things for people. The other method obviously is tipping it on the yard,
Yep.
yeah, and then just hosing down as you would normally a hose down yard.
Yep.
We have had people, you know, put a lot of material on some of their yards, and the cows are a bit disagreeable. So it's probably, you know, put it close enough to the to where the outflow and the effluent goes, if you know what I mean, and then flush it away go straight into your effluent area, if you know what I mean, and it goes into your pond and starts working, as Graham said, pretty well straight away. And as you can see, some of the component parts, you know, the fish and the blood and bone are really good microbial foods. They get the activity of the ponds going, and then we've got the humic fulvic acids, which are trapping some of those nutrients and minerals that we know that's in the manure, and we don't want them either vitalised into the air or lost anywhere else. So hopefully we can, you can keep in, hang on and hold on to as many of those things as we possibly can. As Graham is a very busy boy, as usual.
Yeah, the wife won't be very happy. All right.
So off goes the lid.
So we pull the lid off, and then generally this is the outlet to the pond. Sprinkle it up around the yard. Yeah, we use all recycled water, so I'll just be back in the tick after I start the pump.
So as you can see, it's pretty simple. Just on the yard, no special dosages, all that sort of stuff. This stuff's going on at 1 bucket or 2 buckets per application, and then away and away it goes. It's just as simple as that. You know, people get these things pretty complicated sometimes, and a lot of salesmen and all that sort of stuff, they baff you with the you know what, if you know what I mean. And I think, you know, all we're trying to do is make it simple for people to get there, to make sure that their effluent ponds are working properly, they're breaking down the materials, hanging on and holding on to nutrients, and then you can use that as a positive fertiliser out there in the paddock, whether it's on your crop paddock or you're preparing to get an autumn winter grass away. You can use that material as much as you possibly can to take advantage of it, and we just think that this is the best way, the most simplest way, most cost-effective way. You know, there's some of these things that are out there that cost them $2,000 or $3,000 to take care of their effluent pond systems, and probably in large dairies and all that sort of stuff, we're talking about that $1,500 to $1,600 on an annual basis, just to get their effluent in control and working really well. So he's having a bit of here he goes. He's got his water up there. He's up there, and away he goes. He's got the old hose going off. He's effluent ready. He's grabbed his hose and away he goes. And this is just as simple as it is. This is as simple as it is. You know, you can be maybe just after you've hosed your yard out, or even, just even in piggeries and all that sort of stuff.
So,
away you go.
As you can see here, believe it or not, this is our water, how it comes out of the first pond.
Amazing.
It's not out of the second pond, and if you look at it, it's not dirty, really, it's just a light brown colour. And look at the humic fulvic flowing down the drain. This stuff will just break down more and more and more, which means you get more and more nutrients back onto the farm.
So as you might imagine, all you need to do, for the dairies or even in piggeries, just whack it in, and once the flush system or the hose out, if you know what I mean, it's going to go in. It's no big fancy sort of extra bit of work. It's just all in one, all at the same time. So I hope that's helped everybody get a bit of an idea of how simple the process is. Like we say, depending on the size of the dairy or the size of the actual animal production unit, we work it out on a per megalitre of liquid, if you know what I mean, that's in the system. So just thanks Graham for doing that, and hopefully for everybody, get in contact with us. If you look at our website, www.biolink.com, the number 4 plants.com.au. Give us a call, contact us on Facebook, and we'll point you in the right direction in regards to effluent disposal and management. Thank you.